As we can see here, I got weld. I've cleaned it up some. Just try to keep it as flat as I more or less can, so that way we can take this hub, because this is this is a 4x4. These rims are 110, so not the exact. It needed to be 100, but again, these were repurposed off the Predator build I had, so that actually matched the hubs. These are more or less from GoPowersports.com. I knew they're 4x4 hub. I knew it was going to be a little different. I was hoping there was enough inner on the rim itself that I could do these. Unfortunately, luckily that washer fit perfect. Welded in there, figure out exactly how that's going to be dead set center, mark where the holes are, and do some drilling. So again, this can be the inside. You're never going to see this. There used to be an old rim there. Anyone that didn't catch that to begin with. Now I need to weld this side and clean that all up. Here's the other side. So again, that's going to be the front. I still need the weld there, and I already got that one all done as well now too on the inside. So that's what it looks like when it's on. There's quite a bit of room. I just need to get some washers to be able to fit that gap. Then I can use the original snap ring, everything else there to help hold all this together. So it's really coming together. Really proud of this thing. Cannot wait to put these tires on it, see the actual stance. All right, what we have here is just a time lapse of me doing some welding. I was welding the washer inside the rim. That's just a Chinese cheaper rim that I ordered for Predator that was 110 millimeter. And with the new Go Power Sports hubs that I put on this when I built this machine, as you can see there on the back on the spindle, that is actually a 100 inch, or not 100 inch, 100 millimeter. However they measure it, it's 100 and not a 110. So I needed more meat to be able to actually drill the holes, and this is just gonna be the process of how I did it. I was able to center it, and I can tell you to this day, it's been almost 2 years. That thing is rocking and rolling. No welds are broken, and it actually runs really true. I've trailed this mower at about 30 miles an hour, and I absolutely love this thing, and will continue to beat the hell out of it. And we're ready to go rip some mud this weekend with it. But been needing to get some videos out there, some of the how-tos, some of the things I spent a lot of time videoing that I just never went through and edited. So I'm going to try to take some time and get more of that up here. And if you guys like it, let me know. And maybe I can continue to get some of that stuff up, and I appreciate it. All right, so making some more progress. What I end up doing is me and Matt, we're trying to figure out best way I could try to do to center this on there for the holes. So we took some of these guys, figured out roughly what it was to get this center into that washer, because that washer, based on my math, is more or less dead center or close enough to it since it's not going to the moon. We put this in there. Once we found that, he held it, and then I just shot a little spray paint in there to fill the holes, so that way I can drill the center of them holes and drill them out. So pretty simple idea. I'll let you know how the ride quality is of how close I am. But that's the progress I'm making. Now here's just a simple, again, time lapse. What I'm doing, that's a punch and then a hammer. I suggest this anytime you need to drill exact. So just take a small punch and a hammer. It will allow the drill bit to have something more to bite onto. Again, I'm just drilling the pilot holes, and then I have a step that I'm going to use to actually drill out them holes to get as wide as possible and even as possible. And with that, I made sure I kept oiling it as well, because otherwise I'd get really hot and doled out really fast. Again, it's just some quick little sessions of it. You can see the weld, everything's all grinded down. Look, I mean, for what it is, pretty darn good. Obviously a lot of holes now because you have the original and the new. But yeah, this actually, I was very happy at really how fast I was able to do this, and for, again, how well it's held up now, again, being 2 years later. So I haven't made any modifications to the front or even taken them off to even re-grease it, because it is perfectly true, and well, perfectly true for being a mower with no suspension, but it rides great, and it runs really well. So but yeah, so you can kind of get the gist of what's going on, and then we'll have another little video showing exactly how I welded it up and everything on that, in the sense to get it true on to the hub and get the lug nuts on. Alright, so I got everything welded up. Just cleaned up around, or actually I just freshly painted because I knew this idea, I was going to do it, and then I totally forgot until Matt come out here. So I'm actually going to add another washer, then put the lug nuts on, make sure everything's all square. I'm going to tighten this all down, and then I'm going to tack these washers in place with the rem being as center as I possibly can to the hub. Spin it, make sure everything's okay, so that way if I need to make any adjustments, then I'm going to tack again the washers around, take the rem off, and then weld everything that I need to for the washers, paint the rem, put it on, and then the rem's done. That one I'm going to do the same thing. I already got all the holes, everything drilled, everything goes onto the hub. I still need to change out the other bearings, so that way I can get the other hub on that side. But we're getting closer and closer. I'd say here in the next half an hour or so, we will have wheels on, and that's probably going to conclude this episode. And I'm hoping by the next one, we will actually have this thing up and running. Again, probably with the stock exhaust with a couple of modifications to it for the meantime. We're going to run the stock clutch for now. Beef up the spring, add some gear oil, everything to the rear end, and get this thing probably moving. You know, and then I still got the foot throttle. I mean, there's definitely still some things I need to do to that point, but I'm thinking next week that this thing could probably fire up on its own and in drive, and that way I could start really fine-tuning exactly what I want to do with it, how good the brakes are going to work, how good that clutch is going to work, what modifications, and so on and so forth. And you guys would be right there alongside of me, and then we'll start making the hood changes probably really soon. Get Joseph's name, Mitchell Tree Mother, or Mom, Mother Mitchell Tree, I think is actually, I think what we're going to go with. My cousin Ben. I'm going to get a Postal Redneck on there. Again, Postal Redneck on YouTube. Go check him out. Absolutely just need to. One of my really good friends. Absolutely love that guy. And then I'm also going to be making the decal of what he made me. He sent me over the file so I can do that. So some really cool things getting ready to come to this thing very shortly. Keep watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the first two parts. This is going to be the third part. Hope you guys are enjoying, and take care. Alright, so here's going to be the very end of the video. I'm actually just using a shim in the very center and spinning it by hand to try to get it as true as possible. And in a second, you'll see a jack stand come in. We put that to the edge of the wheel and kept spinning. And then I was tightening down the lug nuts to get it as true as possible so I can tack weld all them washers and weld it up. And then I repainted it, and I did the exact same for the other side. You guys take care. Thank you for watching.